And this looks like it should be another great matchup here from Lincoln High School.
Yeah, and in an evening like this, it's close to 98, 100 degrees. So both teams are going to have to play a little bit more conservatively, look to keep the ball as much as they can, tire the other team out. But, United's got some momentum going into this because of the last 6 games. So let's look to see some good action where applicable based on the heat.
United won their game at Tacoma and then won 4 consecutive home games before going back on the road on Friday, earning a 3-2 win over Capital Atletico FC. Isaiah Easley scoring a brace in that one. He now is tied for the team lead with Connor Evans with his 4 goals. It's the first time all season that United PDX had given up more than 2 goals. And today, one of the big changes in the lineup, no Rowan Schnebley. Davis King makes just his 3rd start of the summer. Started the first 2, and now he is back in net today. Similar back 4 for United PDX, who wears the home blues, going from left to right. Anthony Godinez, Ryan Ludwig, Michael Hatcher, and Mo Muhammad from left to right in the back 4. Sean McDowd for the 2nd straight game, not playing center back with Ryan Ludwig returning. He'll be the left midfielder along with Connor Evans and Oliver Giesing. Up top, it's Brandon Knapp, Isaiah Easley, and Vova Kubrikov, as United PDX plays their first of 3 games this week. And Jimmy, that could be part of what Troy Reddy is thinking, trying to keep some of these players' legs fresh, as guys like, as I look down at my notes, guys like Loic Barres, who's played in every single game, guys like Mario Sandreu, who's playing a little bit more, Jackson Finn, even a Jamin Gogo Peters available today, but they're probably going to be impact subs, trying to keep everyone to maybe 60 to 70 minutes who are likely to play in all 3 games this week.
Well, and each of those players are very good at going forward, getting attacks and getting goals. So, it's okay to let the team do what they need to do, keep composure, keep play, and then bring in some energy when they need it, because this is going to be an intense game today simply because of the heat.
Vova Kubrikov came away with the turnover in the defensive third there for Tacoma Stars, but he was dispossessed. Let's take a look at the lineup now for the Tacoma Stars. In net, it's Natan Admassu, played on the Ethiopian national U team. A back 3 of Jose Cerna, Igor Akalov, and Diego Hernandez. A midfield 5, the wingbacks Orlando Arazo and Shazi Kamau, with Mason Abdella, Sebastian Navarro, and Nani Mendoza in the midfield as well. Up top, it's Felipe Souza and Eddie Ncaa. And an interesting note on those 2 forwards, both players graduates. They've completed their college eligibility, and for Ncaa, a couple years ago, he graduated Pacific Lutheran all the way back in 2017. This is an older group for Tacoma Stars. They have 5-6 guys on the roster who have been out of college for a while, and it'll be interesting to see how United PDX does deal with that, because a little bit older, maybe you don't deal with the heat as well, but also might be a little bit stronger than some of those college freshmen and sophomores.
Well, they're just going to have a little bit more experience, just being around the game for a few more years. That just changes the dynamic a little bit. But again, as I always say, when it comes to the game, it's 11v11. It's all what they do on the day, no matter how experienced they are. So hopefully we'll get some aggressive play here from United and get to keep the ball on the ground, knock it about, look for opportunities to get it in the box.
Tacoma is one of the teams that has a longer history as a club. They've been a club since 2003, but mostly known as a major arena soccer league team. This is their first year playing at the USL League 2 level, in addition to playing in the MASL. And they've had an odd season. Started off really well, 4-0-2, including taking a win and a tie against Ballard. But then they went 0-4 over their next 4 games before earning back-to-back 3-2 wins over Mid-Lakes United and Capital FC Atletico. So they've righted the ship a bit, but still work to do with just 2 games left in the regular season and trailing the top 2 teams by 3 points coming into this one. Long ball sprayed by King, long run, and able to keep it in there? No, unable to do so. Would have been a really nice play by Godinez down the far side.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, but the Tacoma Stars were around when I was playing, because we played them in the indoor arena, so it was amazing time.
But, I mean, Jimmy, that wasn't that long ago.
Oh, that's right, because I'm so young.
We've got a foul and a player down for Tacoma Stars. So we will check on that player. Not a day that you want to spend a lot of time on the turf. You figure temperatures near 100, if not at 100. Sebastian Navarro appears to be okay. On the turf, it's going to be another 10 to 20 degrees warmer. Tacoma will look to play this one deep, and a player slipped for United PDX, but a nice job by Godinez, who was able to head it back for Davis King. This is a team for Tacoma Stars that wants to play a higher scoring game. In their 6 wins this year, 22 goals. In their 6 losses and ties, they've managed just 8 goals. So they're going to want to play a 2-1, 3-2, 4-3 game like they did in a win over Ballard. On the opposite side, United PDX, the top defense in the entire league, 8 goals conceded, gave up multiple goals just once all year. And prior to the goal they allowed in the 10th minute on Friday down in Salem, they had held a 284-minute scoreless streak. So it's not going to be easy to break down this team, especially when you factor in that Charlie Kosakoff, the sophomore at the University of Washington and the top scorer not only for Tacoma Stars but for the entire Northwest Division, is unavailable tonight. He scored 8 goals this summer, tied for 11th best in all of USL League 2. McDowd comes back and makes the tackle. And trying to play forward was Godinez looking for Knapp. Ball pinged into the box. 2 United PDX defenders there, and Davis King able to cover up right before the run from Nani Mendoza. Pretty nice crowd coming out for this game, despite the fact that it's been quite warm. This is the hottest day that we're supposed to see in the Portland metro area. Temperature's well over 100. It's supposed to go down to about 90 tomorrow. King, who has played a bit during this winning streak. He played the final 20 minutes in 2 of those shutouts for United PDX. To the near side, this is Hatcher. Hatcher's played a little bit all over the field. And Hatcher, along with Evans and Barres, who starts today on the bench, are the only players to have played in all 11, now 12 games this season for United PDX. Seven and a half minutes in, still looking for our first shot of the contest as Hatcher plays the long ball perfectly placed. This is Knapp, Brandon Knapp looking for the cross, easily couldn't get there. It'll come all the way through. Vova's going to apply a little bit of pressure, and eventually it's out for a goal kick. Feels like here in the early going, United PDX feels like they've got a little bit of space out on that far side. They've looked for Godinez, I think, 3 times now.
Well, they've actually got a lot of space on both sides. So I think, and what I'm seeing already is you're seeing Connor Evans pull back a little bit. He's trying to get the ball a little bit further back than he normally does. And I think what you're seeing there is just because they're just getting closer and closer into the game.
Now Tacoma will look to push it back to the near side, and it is sprayed out. The Mo Muhammad, who has been so good over this 6-game homestand. It's essentially been 3 of these 4 defenders who have played the vast majority of the minutes during this 6-game homestand, with the exception of Ludwig, who missed a couple games after having to go home and then come back. In the same group as Knapp nearly brought that down and provides a little bit of pressure here. Admassu doing a nice job of lifting that one out under the pressure of Giese. Navarro playing it back for Akalov. And Admassu, as Tacoma Stars looks to work out of trouble by playing it out of the back. Ball pushed forward, looking for Mendoza, and eventually headed out of trouble there.
It's good to see their organization. You know, you see there right there, they're trying to close the game down. Even though it's hot, they're putting a lot of pressure on them, right? So if they can just keep that up and then look to break quickly, United will get a lot of success out of this game.
Turnover at Tacoma, looking to take advantage. Hatcher knocks it away, and the shot is well wide. First look of the day, though, is Hatcher's clearance only as far as a white shirt. Never really troubled Davis King. That was Mendoza, former Columbia Basin college player. This is a big game for both teams, probably bigger for Tacoma, who a loss today, and they would need a lot of help, as Ballard FC hypothetically could be caught, but they would have to lose their last two, and Tacoma would not only need to win their final game, but also win the tiebreakers. United PDX, it's pretty simple. Win today and you're in, and that would be huge for a team in their second year in the USL League Two who finished tied for third a year ago with 16 points. They have a chance to get to 26 tonight and a potential maximum of 32 points.
You know, and when you looked at United PDX at the beginning of the season to where they are today, it's really great to see that they've evolved so much as a team each game, and they've got better and better, and getting the last 6 wins has made a huge difference, obviously.
And doing it a little bit earlier this summer. They started slow at 1-2-2. They had a similar slow start last year, but it was a longer slow start. Hatcher nearly caught on the ball, and a good job by Giesing to come back. That was Eddie Ncaa, the former Pacific Lutheran University player, who almost came away with the steal.
Right there, you can see he was lethargic, right? When it's hot as it is right now, that means other players are not playing off of the ball. They're not making runs where they normally are. They're looking for the ball, and you notice there, he looked up, no one was moving. So it made him hesitate, and it gave you an opportunity. This is where they still got to keep that discipline of off-the-ball runs and nice, easy passes to keep it rolling. That's the way then you'll tie down Tacoma and eventually get goals.
Godin has the long ball in the vicinity of Easley, who scored 3 of his 4 goals this summer in the last 2 games. It is pushed out, and it'll stay with United PDX. Still looking for their first shot as we're nearly 12 minutes in. This is United PDX team that's played well pretty much in every game of this 6-game winning streak, but they've certainly played their best offensive soccer in the second half, as Giesing has that one tip off a white shirt last, and will go out for the first quarter of the game, and United PDX will send Connor Evans over to take it.
Yeah, and like we talked about in those last 6 games, their mindset has been, I want to go forward, I want to be offensive, I want to create, and even here, as tired it is, they're getting crosses in.
Giesing on the short corner looking for Hatcher, who sent it what looked like wide of the post. Admassu not taking any kind of chances, and Ethan will roll it out for one of his teammates. So 1 shot apiece here in the early going. Neither one really tested the opposing keeper. This is Arazo, long ball looking for Ncaa. Gets on the end of it at the edge of the box. He'll try to cut it back. Good play from Ludwig. One of 3 Stanford players on the roster, and Ludwig, whenever he's been here, he's been an automatic starter at center back. Giesing to the near side for Muhammad. Mo looking up to the feet of Giesing and right back. For McDowd and Hatcher. And Jimmy, you're asking for the runs, and this will be a chance for Brandon Knapp to make the run. Isaiah easily cutting into the box. Knapp with 1 player in front, and it'll go out for another corner.
That play is on all day long. If you look at him, Knapp's just staying out wide, and this is what we've talked about over the season. Get wide, create, because what it does, it just forces the defense to make a decision. And right there, they made a decision to stay in tight, and then Ludwig's got this beautiful opportunity to put the ball across on the other side. And he's been open all day long.
Knapp, who plays his collegiate soccer Division II Seton Hill, will be a senior this fall, originally out of Deer Park, New York. It'll be Evans again to take the initial kick, but he's got Giesing as the short corner option. Hatcher is wide open at the back of the 18, calling for it. And Evans will spray it in, looking for Hatcher. It's just over his head. Hatcher was named to the USL League Two Team of the Month this past week after scoring 4 goals and adding 2 assists. Key part of that 6-game winning streak. And Evans really has been the most consistent player on this team, the one guy that you never expect to leave the field.
No, I mean, and he plays his role. This is what we talk about each week, is you've got to play your role in the game. And he understands what his goal is and what he needs to do, and he sticks to it. And he's a playmaker, and he's a good defensive midfield player that has become an offensive-minded midfield player too, which is beautiful. That's the reason why he's got these goals.
Yeah, he scored a hat trick in the win over Capital FC Atletico. First hat trick, he said, since he scored one probably all the way back at age 11 or 12, as Hatcher's going to play this safe back to Davis King, former Academy of Arts, University of San Francisco player who graduated a couple years back. King, though, a very worthy backup to Schnebly, who had started, I believe, the last 8 games in a row. Hatcher will play the run, looking for Giesing over the top, and Admassu backs off, and Giesing still battling for it, and he'll be called for the foul. He was challenging there against Igor Akalov. Not a ton in that, but enough for the whistle, and that's the first time we've seen them really play down Route 1 as Giesing elected to make the run down the middle of the field. Tacoma had the first shot in this one, but haven't been able to generate much since, as we're just over 16 minutes into the contest. That a through ball that never had a chance, out for a goal kick. Tacoma went through a bit of a coaching adjustment midway through the season. Today they are coached by Steve Moan and Skylar Rohr. Opposite side, United PDX. Ever-present Troy Reddy, who's done a great job mixing and matching this lineup. Matt Broadhead, the general manager, and Joe Locasio working with the goalkeepers. Long ball now from Ludwig, looking the opposite way for Mo Muhammad, and just out of Mo's reach. But again, you talked about it, it's a difference in lineups today with just 3 at the back and the 2 wing backs, but this also just feels like a couple times United PDX has caught Tacoma out of position or maybe just ball watching.
Yeah, and well, one, because of the formation that they're in, right? And also, two, the discipline of United being going wide. I mean, most coaches don't realize the importance of getting their players as wide, touching the byline. Because, again, it creates more space in midfield players to get it. It creates the forwards, room for them to come back and get it. So it just changes the dynamic of the game completely. Or, like we've seen, those beautiful balls over the top for Hatcher, to nap in the corner.
Evans will play it up the line for Muhammad, one player to beat. That one knocks off of Jose Serna over towards the corner flag, and Serna making the smart decision to play that out for a throw. Even on that previous free kick, if Hatcher wanted to, he had Knapp all alone on the far side. I mean,
yeah, and he's wide open, and if Hatcher was thinking a little quicker, again, a lot of people don't realize when it's this hot, it affects so many things, and your brain just doesn't move as quick as it should, right? Because you're thinking, all right, everybody's tired, so I want to move slowly. When in essence, you're open, and he should have played it quicker.
As we've got a foul here on Mo Muhammad, upending Felipe Souza. And it'll be a free kick. 18.5 minutes in, still scoreless. And a matchup between United PDX, who sits tied for first in the league, but first on points per game, one of the tiebreakers. They'll play the other team tied for first on Friday. That is if Tacoma doesn't win today, in which we'd have 3 teams tied for first going into the weekend, the final weekend of regular season play. Obviously, if you're a United PDX fan, that's the last thing you want to see. But a week of huge games for United PDX. Tuesday, Friday against Ballard, up at Ballard, and then a game on Sunday against Lane United that hopefully won't mean too much. They can win today and get any kind of points on Friday. They'll clinch the top spot in the Northwest Division. Knapp trying to play it in the direction of Easley. Knocked away by the center back. Evans goes through the midfielder. And we'll get a quick free kick, and they're going to back it up. Ball played through the middle, and despite his efforts, Souza was never to get there. Both teams without their starting goalies. Brandon Limes for Tacoma, Rowan Schnebley for United PDX, and Tacoma without their top scorer, Charlie Kosakov. This is the time in the summer where sometimes athletes have to go back to their campuses for captains' practices, and you see some changes in the lineups. United PDX goal was to build a championship roster, and got a really good shot to do that getting to the playoffs, and no matter who they have available, you figure that they'd be a competitive team. This is Shazi Kamau, the Kenyan native who plays this collegiate soccer Division III Washington College in Maryland. Kamau, an interesting one. Most of the players in this league are either from the Pacific Northwest or they play their collegiate soccer from the Pacific Northwest. He's from Kenya, he and his brother, Alvin, and played his high school soccer in New Hampshire and his collegiate soccer in Maryland, but the Kamau brothers both on the Tacoma Stars roster. Hatcher with all kinds of time and space, and he'll try to play it up for Vova. Kubrakov has Giesing offside, and will leave it off for Mo Muhammad. Mo facing a little pressure, and we'll go back for Hatcher. This is a little bit slower than we're used to seeing United PDX play. There's lots of reasons for it. But the big thing is, you don't want to be the team that makes the mental mistake to give up that first goal. Kubrakov trying to dribble through two. Finds Muhammad. Three blue shirts essentially in the same space. Muhammad ahead for Giesing. Giesing, big first touch, able to get past one player. Giesing still with it and eventually dribbles right into Mason Abdella and forces the turnover. Abdella forward for Souza, who dropped for Kamau, and eventually won in the midfield by Evans. Hatcher has been the distributor today. Good ball for Knapp. Met by Diego Hernandez. Right center back in that back three. Godinez to the feet of Evans for Giesing, who's looked really good as he's gotten 4 consecutive starts. Giesing wants a shot and an easy save for Admassu. Just the third total shot and second look for United PDX. In fact, our first shot on target of the game. So we are in the 23rd minute. So, Jimmy, how much of this is heat and how much of this is maybe just needing to be a little bit sharper? Obviously, the two, to some degree, go hand in hand, but...
Yeah, a lot of this is the heat, right? They just, you know you're playing with this mental battle in your head of like, do I push it because I don't want to end up getting tired, having to chase the ball back. So, yeah, the heat really does play a big role in the momentum of the game, right? But the good news is that, you know, if United can keep doing what they're doing, getting it around the back and getting the crosses in, it'll eventually break down and they'll get that goal.
On the free kick, it'll be Jose Serna. Serna, a good ball into the 18, but Evans the first to it. A sky-high ball. Easily got a touch on it. Had 2 white shirts around him, and a really nice step by Godinez. Wins it for Knapp, and out ahead for Godinez. Anthony looking up, has 1 blue shirt, tries to play it across, and that was a little ambitious, and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, you can even see, you know, the back four so slowly are getting out because they're just like, okay, the ball's over the top, let him chase it. And the challenge with that, it leaves a massive gap between the defense, the midfield, and the forward. And that's right there. You've only got 1 player in the middle, right? And that's all he could, that's the only option he had.
Yeah, and it feels like on a more normal temperature night, you're typically seeing 3-4 blue shirts make those runs. If nothing else, United PDX is a team that's always willing to put the work in. Kamau playing it back and forth with Abdella, leaving it off for Navarro, and played forward there by Nani Mendoza. Coming back the other way, settled by Knapp. Knapp looking to drive, gets past 2, and eventually just lost it as he got into the 18. Does feel like United PDX is having a little bit of success dribbling and attacking these players 1v1. They just haven't been able to get that final pass off.
Yeah, they've got to take, once they get past 1, they've got to play it off and then look to get it back, and that's where they'll create a little bit more space, but also they'll involve other players versus trying to, take it all the way through.
Throwing up the middle, looking for Ludwig. He will send it the other way. Easily will give chase, but knows he's never going to get there. This is not a fun game to be the center forward, making those extra runs when you know there's only going to be so much in the legs. It is a game where you're really happy to have the kind of depth that United PDX has. You don't need 90 minutes per se from Knapp, from Easley, from Vova Kubrikov. With some of the players on the bench, it might actually be your benefit to bring in fresh legs in the 45th or 60th minute to wear down this defense.
Yeah, especially if United PDX have been playing a high pressure games in the last few games that we've been watching, right? So, today, because of the heat, they're a little bit slow. They're not putting enough pressure on them to win those extra balls. But reality is we can't degrade them because they're actually doing a pretty good job, no matter what, And they're looking at the holes and the gaps that Tacoma's creating, and they're attempting to get them through.
Yeah, I mean, during this 6-game winning streak, 4 of those wins have been by 1 goal, and then they had a 5-0 win over Capital FC, a 4-0 win over West Seattle. Those were great, but you're not going to do that every single game. During the win streak, though, they've outscored their opponents 17-5. Really impressive, averaging nearly 3 goals per game, considering this was a team that was averaging less than a goal per game in their first 5 games.
Yeah, and they've been so defensively sound. United PDX. They've always come into these games. They seem really well organized at the back. I just think what I'd love to see them do is once they get it into their half, push up a lot quicker and condense the field, condense the game a lot more.
Hatcher looking to the feet there of Easley. Nearly found Kubrikov, if not for a great step from Arazo. This is Cerna playing it back for Diego Hernandez, and out to the third center back, Akalov, who plays his collegiate soccer at the University of Washington. Serta up the line for Arazo. Arazo, who plays at the Division II level for Seattle Pacific, towards the back post. King was always favorite, got a hand to it, punches it away, and this should be out for a throw-in, but that one seemed to travel a little bit further than Davis King initially expected. There is some wind here at Lincoln High School, which is a positive for everybody in the stands, but it also maybe made that a little bit harder on Davis King. Shazi come out to take this throw-in as we approach the 30th minute of a scoreless first half. Only 3 total shots, make it 4 as Davis King parries it away. Shot from the top of the 18. It was a good look on target from Eddie Ncaa.
Yeah, it was a great, well taken, good strike. Keeper did well. I mean, he was in the right place. I mean, it wasn't a difficult save, but nonetheless, he still had to make it.
So first save of the game for Davis King, and first corner of the game coming for Tacoma. Already 3 for United PDX. The left-footed in-swinger here for the Stars. Ball towards the 6, punched away there by King. Might have actually been headed away by Hatcher. They were both in the vicinity. Back towards the back post, and Ludwig gets to it this time. Giesing will take the no-nonsense approach and knock it into the stands. Better from Tacoma, though. First shot on target. First corner of the game. They look to put some pressure on the top defensive team. There are only 3 teams in the league who have given up less than 20 goals. United PDX has given up 8. Second best team has given up 15. Ball is loose, and it's Evans trying to ping the ball, goes off a defender, falls for Giesing, and really important from Navarro after making the initial touch to break it up a second time. Godinez for Knapp. Here's runners this time on the backside. Kuberkov along with Giesing. Ball played behind Godinez. Gets a foot in, and he earns the foul there as he was taken out by Navarro. First off, we hope Godinez is okay. Second off, this is probably the best attacking free kick we've seen today for United PDX. Probably not going to be able to shoot here, but Connor Evans, his service, you got to expect that he can put a good ball into the box. It will be Evans. They send the center backs up. Mo Muhammad and Vova Kuberkov, the lone two players back. So it looks like the subs are taking a water break. I was wondering if we would get a water stoppage in this one, just like you've seen more and more at the professional level, but looks like we're going to play through. Three-man wall. Evans and Knapp, the left-footed option. It'll be Evans to take. And he flicks it towards Hasher, headed away by Tacoma, right back in by Godinez. Falls to the feet of Ludwig. Center back trying to get something going, sends it low. And Admassu able to cover up. I think the problem with you and I knowing exactly who United PDX wants to target is the opposing team probably does as well. And
it didn't take a little bit. It doesn't take much research to know that.
No, it does seem like Hatcher's been getting more and more service because he's making the most of it. As we've got a stoppage, and we are going to get a water break here in the 32nd minute. I personally love that.
Yeah, I think it's needed. I mean, when you're playing in this kind of heat, you can tell the players are getting tired, and they're not as sharp as they normally are. Their passes are not as crisp. You are seeing a lot of balls over the top. There's a little bit of laziness to their passing, and that just goes with the territory of the heated, of a night like this that's just so hot.
And with the clock stopped at 31:38, now you've got a better chance here in the final nearly 14 minutes of getting some good attacking play, of getting some good play where you actually work some of those combinations and potentially get that first goal of the game.
Yeah, and I really do believe it's going to come from outside. I love Godinez from the back, right? When he comes forward, he's got so much pace, he's got a good touch. If he can get around the back of Knapp occasionally, let Knapp just draw him in, I think we'll get a lot of success around the backside there because he's wide open on that side. Now,
during this hydration break,
I'd love to see that on Vovo on his side of things as well, because Vovo, if he came out wider, he would create the same amount of space as what Knapp is doing on the other side, and that gives United that option to go either way. Right now, it's one way.
31-38 into the contest, and while we've got a moment, let's quickly take you through our sponsors who are helping fans and players hydrate. At least one of our two sponsors helping the players. The fans might have multiple options. It all starts with Core Water. Enhanced with electrolytes and minerals, Core Hydration helps you stay feeling your best. Core Water. Level Beer. Brewing subtle, balanced, and traditional beers with a healthy mix of New World ales and lagers thrown in for good measure. Level Beer. And finally, Elite Real Estate. Serving Oregon and Southwest Washington and now open in Vancouver. We are Elites. Come on in. So we thank our three sponsors, and now we get back to game action. Seth Orensky joined by Jimmy Clark. The clock has begun to run. Might just add a little bit of stoppage time at the end of the half, or might just be okay with running off a little bit of clock on a night like tonight.
Yeah, there's lots of different tactics to approach this game when it gets this hot. But I think the most important thing is win those second balls, right? Win the first and the second ball. Keep it simple, and then look for the spaces. And Tacoma's given United a lot of space around the back, like we've just been talking about. Even some penetration into that midfield area where they can take one player on and lay it off. Unfortunately, some players are just trying to do too much.
On the restart, it'll be Tacoma Stars ball going from right to left in the white unis. This is Navarro looking to ping it long. We haven't seen Tacoma play it long nearly as frequently as United PDX has elected to, as Ludwig holding off Ncaa, trying to get it back to his keeper potentially. Instead, he'll have to turn, play it up the line, and finds Knapp for Giesing. Evans will open up the field for Hatcher. Vova Kubrikov calling for the ball along the near side. Giesing will settle it. Front three are all high right now and stretching the field. This is Hatcher losing his footing, and it still gets through. Good job by the center back Hernandez to step forward, as there were two United PDX players in the vicinity. Navarro again, this time looking for Souza into the back of Hatcher, and it doesn't affect the University of Portland player. Up the line, though, no United PDX players in the vicinity. Come out for Navarro to the feet there of Mendoza, and broken up. Right back for Mendoza. Nani. Back for Abdella, and to the near side for Cerna. To the feet of Orazo, the wingback. Gets it right back, cutting it back, dangerous area, and Ncaa puts it high. That was easily the best opportunity of the game, and Ncaa could not put it on target.
Well, I think that's one of the best plays of the game. You saw them, they get really calm, knock the ball about, look for the space, look for the second man run, and they did. He got round the back, and it was actually a nice little cutback. It was just really not that good of a quality of a shot, but nonetheless, got himself there and got himself open, and United weren't closing him down quick enough.
Second shot in a row for Tacoma, who now holds a slim 3-2 lead in total shots, both teams with one on target. Long ball out for Knapp, plays it to the feet of Easley, has Kubrikov out wide with Giesing joining the run, tries to slip it through. Kubrikov had to pull out his run, trying to avoid being offside, and it'll be out for United PDX throw. Certainly the first time that we've seen Tacoma kind of play a 1-2 and open up some space. That cutback has been so effective for United PDX this season. And Tacoma nearly took advantage of it against the United PDX defense. Muhammad looking for Easley with the player on his back. Isaiah will play it back. Isaiah was with Clemson University the past 2 years, won a national championship as a sophomore, but he will play at the University of San Francisco this fall. Player's had himself a nice summer, tied for the team lead with 4 goals. Knapp working 1v1, trying to get the cross. Got it across just behind the two players in the blue shirt. It's a nice little cutback option. Evans settles for Knapp. Knapp, the edge of the 18, but overruns the ball, and he's not going to earn that, what would have been a softer penalty, as he ran into Hernandez. Ball headed right back towards net and eventually settled by Tacoma. Under 10 minutes to go of the 45, as Evans again, he's been coming up with a lot of ball recoveries recently. Out wide for Brandon Knapp. Knapp looking to settle, and interesting option. Seemed like he kind of got his signals mixed there with Evans. And again, Tacoma just content to play it out, although they did have a player down. That's Kamau, who is currently going to need some treatment.
Yeah, these balls out wide to Knapp are creating a little damage here for Tacoma. They're having to think. And what I'm noticing right there is that he's beating his players, right? If you give the ball to Knapp, he's got good one-on-one. He's beat him a few times. So what's happening is the midfield players are going over to support him. In reality, they shouldn't. They should just get away, because they're bringing a defender with them, and that just makes that a little bit tighter. So if the midfield player just comes around and goes around to the center, gives us another man in the middle, give Knapp an opportunity to go one-on-one, because he's beat him a few times.
Shazi Kamau is back up, able to walk off on his own 2 feet, and looks like he'll be able to go once he's ushered back onto the field. Still 0-0. United PDX throw-in coming from the far side. Godinez will just give it back to Tacoma. A little bit of good sportsmanship. And Admassu shows his gratification with a couple claps. Admassu was a late addition to the starting lineup. We were given Mason Averill originally, but Admassu, who neither of those two goalies are the typical starters for Tacoma, gets the start today. I believe it's just his second start of the summer. Brendan Limes, the University of Portland player who transferred to Cal State Bakersfield in 2023, has been the starter for the vast majority, as we've got an offside, our first of the game. In fact, this is Admassu's second start, earned the win against Capital FC 4-1 back on May the 26th. He makes his second start of the summer. On the opposite side, Davis King making his third. On the restart, it'll be Evans for Hatcher. Just interesting seeing a little bit of the evolution of Hatcher's game, as he has been the primary playmaker today. This time he elects to play it on the turf for Easley, and Easley's dispossessed. Ncaa for Abdella, and now Kamau looking for Souza there, and it bounces off Souza and out of danger. Knapp on the breakout, but slowed by Navarro. Cuts it back for McDowd. Upfield for Kubrikov. Vova with two white shirts in front of him. Mo Muhammad making a long run to stretch the field. Tries to cut it back for Easley. Picked up by Evans. Evans on the turf for Easley. Lets it go for Muhammad, and the offside flag comes up.
Right idea. Right idea. And it's good. It's good. That's a little bit of creativity. That's what you want to see.
It's also nice if you're asking Mo Muhammad to make what was a very long overlapping run, try to get him involved in the play.
Yeah.
Mo does not have a goal this summer, but certainly capable. It's not just a stay-at-home outside back, although at this point I don't think those exist. I mean, even center backs at this point are becoming more and more talented going forward.
Yeah, and I tell you, I take my hat off to Hatcher. I think he does a great job for United. Not only is he a great defender, but the way he distributes play. He's really showing that side of his game off today. His little distribution. He's playing like he's a midfield player. And so you're right, the defense in today's world showing a lot more talent in the game versus just blocking and tackling type of thing.
Get a foul against Tacoma Stars and a little short talking to Kamau. Not going to result in a yellow card. Referees have been insistent on a couple of plays where they've pushed a free kick back a couple of feet, but they really, outside of that, have not been a huge part of this game in a good way. This will be Evans taking the free kick from distance. Evans towards the back post. Hatcher never had a chance, and it's out for another goal kick. A little bit too much weight behind that particular free kick.
Yeah, and if you're going to do that, you want it to bend towards the goal, so you get the goalkeeper to make a decision, you know, and they could drop it or something could happen, but yeah, that was a bad ball.
This is Cerna looking to play playmaker, and Souza gets a foot on it. Three blue shirts coming back. Souza eventually will be dispossessed, and they're going to call a free kick against Souza, as Hatcher not only got all the way back and won the ball, but won the foul as well.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a solid all-round player. I mean, you see the speed of getting back. He made, you know, just let his man get through, but he made the effort to get back and cover.
Michael Hatcher, the redshirt senior out of Everett, Washington, who's played in 36 games, made 2 starts at the University of Portland in his career. The vast majority of those coming over the last 2 seasons. He's been ever present this season, making his 11th start in 12 games. He's appeared in all 12 for United PDX. He and Connor Evans, the former Stanford player, 2 guys that have just played consistently. Evans actually a redshirt senior of his own right. It's Connor Ludwig, who has graduated from the Cardinal, and Rowan Schnebley, who we don't see today, who's another member of Stanford. Chance here as Easley has it knocked away, and it'll go out for a corner kick. That was a rare opportunity where Easley was able to turn and dribble 1v1 against the defender. into the 43rd minute. Should expect a couple minutes of stoppage time. The referee has a conversation with Navarro. Evans to take what will be the fourth corner of the first half for United PDX. Gotten one shot off, but really haven't troubled the Tacoma Stars to this point. Evans, good ball to the top of the 6, bounces all the way through, and Hatcher is going to try to keep it in and unable to do so. Just felt like one where nobody quite committed to attacking the free kick.
No, they didn't.
So, Jimmy, as we near halftime and what will likely be a 0-0 first half, how much of this is tactical and how much of this is Troy Reddy probably using some of his substitutes to make an impact? Got some players on the bench who not only provide great speed, great talent, but maybe even a slightly different makeup than the group he's got out here in the first half.
Well, I think he's probably going to look at this and say this team's playing well. It's not like they're doing poorly. Oh, no, an opportunity. Yeah, it's not like they're doing poorly, right? They're doing well. They're keeping the game. So he might keep the same starters coming out in the second half, but I think he might make a change earlier on because of that heat and because he wants to probably build a lot more energy. There's some good players sitting on the bench that could come in and make a massive difference here, especially around the outside. I mean, Barres would probably have a field day today. So maybe if there was anyone I would put on, probably Barres.
Well, Jamin Gogo-Peters and Jackson Finn are the two subs behind the net warming up as we got our second corner of the game after Muhammad was able to break up the play but pushed it out for a corner kick. Played on the turf, and the shot from distance looks like it went off the back of a player in white. No, they're going to say it's off of one of the two United PDX players who were covering the post. Then out for another. This will be a throw-in. And Davis King's upset. I don't think the player ever set himself before he kind of lackadaisically threw that one in. We'll get a third corner kick of the half. Last one they played it on the turf. Let's see what Tacoma Stars elects to do here as we're into stoppage time in the first half. Still scoreless. We've got a whistle and likely some pushing, some shoving, maybe even some grabbing. Conversation is with Jose Serna, along with whoever is defending him for United PDX. That might be Godinez, might be Giesing. Mo Muhammad is all over Eddie Ncaa, one of the two center forwards. A lot of players within the 6. The corner kick taker slips, falls, ball is loose. No one can see it. Muhammad, a goal line clearance, and eventually put up through the goal the uprights. That was a very
sinful,
confusing free kick where that no one quite knew where it was for a while. Muhammad was able to get a foot on it, and eventually it's put high and out. So the second opportunity for Tacoma here in the second part of the first half, in which they have a good look inside the 18 but can't put it on target. And if anything, probably say Tacoma Stars has had the better shots here in the first half. Not possession, maybe not even consistent looks, but they've had a pair of really good looks go high.
Yeah, they've actually played pretty decent considering that United's had most of the play. So when they've had their opportunity to go forward, they've taken advantage of it. Good, obviously 1-2 passes. They've got around the back, and right there, that's sinful. That ball was dropping about. That fell nicely to him. He could at least hit the target.
Maybe 8-10 yards out.
Yeah, exactly. So the fact that he missed that makes it good for United. But now is an opportunity for the coaches to get in there and start figuring out, okay, what's really important here? How are we going to get a win out of this? Like you said, it's important for United to get a win out of this game. So they're going to look to, all right, how do we get that forward? They're going to look wide. You know, I really would love to get Volvo more disciplined to get him wide because he creates more space for the forwards to come in, so it gives easily more room. So let's see what happens here as we go into the second half.
Here's what's at stake. A win and United PDX is in the playoffs no matter what happens in their final 2 games. A loss, and all of a sudden it's 3 teams tied for first in the league on 23 points, all with 2 games. Well, 2 of the teams with 2 games to play, United PDX and Ballard. For Tacoma Stars, they would have just the 1 game left. Before we head to an audio break. Let's take a look at our sponsors one last time, and then we'll give you some silence before the second half. It all starts with Core Water. Enhanced with electrolytes and minerals, Core Hydration helps you stay feeling your best. Core Water. Level Beer. Brewing subtle, balanced, and traditional beers with a healthy mix of New World ales and lagers thrown in for good measure. Level Beer. And finally, Elite Real Estate. Serving Oregon and Southwest Washington, and now open in Vancouver. We are Elite. Come on in. We are at the half. It is 0-0 between United PDX and Tacoma Stars, two of the top three teams in the Northwest Division. We'll see if anybody can find that all-important first goal in the second half, as we've got about 10 to 12 minutes before the start of half number 2. We're going to take an audio break and be back with you at a look at maybe some halftime analysis and any changes these two teams' coaches elect to make. Welcome back to Lincoln High School here in Portland, Oregon. We had probably a little bit extended of a halftime, but that's not an issue when it's as hot as it is. Temperatures dropping here in Portland. Closest weather approximation, 94 degrees. It's feeling good out there in the stands. It's probably still over 100 on the turf field. Jimmy, we both expect to see some second half subs, especially early here in the second half. What else do you think that Troy Ready may have been chatting about during the halftime break?
Well, I think what he's focusing on, look, do more of what you're doing, right? You're playing pretty decent. You got to tighten up at the back a little bit. When they get their ball in the midfield, you got to go put a little bit of pressure on them, back each other and cover each other where you can. In terms of stubs, I think if there was anyone, I would put Barres in. I'm not sure if he will or not. He might keep the same 11 out, to put them in, to put a little pressure on him and eventually add them in. But it may even actually looks like Isaiah's out.
Yeah, I think Jackson Finn, a like for like at the center forward position.
Yeah, and I think that's a good choice too, because you've got a big fella up front, and they need that, right? They need someone to play off of in that area. But again, I don't think knowing Troy, he's probably calmly just saying, look, do a lot more of what you want. Just tighten up the screws a little bit, right? Make sure you're covering each other, close them down a little bit, make sure you win your tackles, win your first and your second ball, and then keep playing, keep doing what you're doing, and just prevent them from making the end. Because the reality is, you pointed it out, Tacoma's had the two best shots and opportunities. So tighten those up. Don't let them have any shots in there, because from a defensive team, United has been solid all year. And just attack. Just get in their box, close it up, go as a unit, get around the back and get some cutbacks, right? Some late runs. I mean, I could even see Evans coming through and getting a goal, right, by those late cutback passes when you get around the box, and have him come in and just tap it in. So I think he'll say more of the same, just tighten it up.
Jackson Finn, the lone change for United PDX, the junior forward out of Woodland, Washington, started his career at Division I University of Albany. As a sophomore at Seattle University, played in 13 games, scored 1 goal. He's had 2 goals this summer, both of them coming against West Seattle in that 4-0 win. So Finn replaces easily, a like-for-like change. United PDX will have the ball to start the second half here. There is a lot more shade on the field, which will feel good for all the players, and especially the goalies, as there's no sun in either box at the moment. This is Mo Muhammad playing it back for McDowd, who had been playing center back for a while, has moved into the midfield, the Indiana University sophomore. Plays defense for his collegiate team. This is Godinez trying to win the free kick, but it ends up going over to Tacoma and eventually out for a throw-in off the head of Knapp. United PDX controlled the possession, probably had slightly more chances, though didn't generate all that many shots or shots on target. It was 2 late looks in the final 10 minutes of the first half. Both that went high were the best looks, both for Tacoma Stars. Long run, can Giesing get there? He could not quite, as it pings off the side of the near post and out. But that's the difference. When you have Finn in there, you have someone who could give you a potential winning an aerial challenge and heading it home. That's not as much of Easley's game. I say that he did have the game-winning header against FC Olympia, but Finn is a slightly different type of center forward.
Yeah, he's a bigger target. He's going to come off and he's going to look for it to his feet, or he's, like you said, and get it around the back and then get it on his head, right? But I'd say what's really, really winning for United right now, and that is Napa in this one-on-one situation. I would give him the ball and let him keep going around the back and just cover him.
Brandon Knapp, a player who hadn't started a ton early in this season, but making his second start in I think the past 3 games, maybe 4 games here during this winning streak, and he's played well in his opportunities. Has been a consistent sub for Troy Ready. As Muhammad wins it, ahead for Kubrakov, the Ukrainian, who's passed just behind Giesing and won there by Navarro. Near side for Kamau. And up the near side, this will be Nani Mendoza. couldn't find Navarro, and it's Evans looking to play it all the way out wide for Knapp, who's onside. Has Finn making the run. Long ball is not going to get there. Just didn't quite have the curve needed to get it to a center forward.
Yeah, the right idea. It's a great ball from Evans out there, and a great touch from Knapp. Unfortunately, he just couldn't get the bend.
PDX putting pressure on the ball, trying to win it right back, and that's McDowd getting a foot in. Played out as the track caught Kamau there. This is a game with lots of players with some either originally from outside the United States or with some overseas experience, as that is played out by Souza for a goal kick. Got Admassu, who's played with the Ethiopian youth national team. Kamau is from Kenya for Tacoma, and Giesing for United PDX has played a little bit of soccer over in Germany. And of course, Kubrikov is originally from Luhansk, Ukraine. Nice to see some international flavor, and it feels like a lot of these teams have a couple of internationals. We've seen a lot of Japanese players the past couple games from Capital FC and I think it was West Seattle. Long ball for Giesing, putting some pressure on. That's a header that doesn't have a ton of weight behind it, but it gets back to Admassu. Good work by Diego Hernandez to step in. Played back to the keeper, Admassu. Pressure coming, and he'll play calmly on the turf for Kamau. McDowd got a foot in there. Ball is loose. Won by Evans. Wants a left-footed shot, but pulls it wide. Just under 5 minutes into the second half, and it's been, I'd say, slightly better for United PDX. A little bit more energy.
Well, and that's what I was saying, that they've, tightened it up a little bit, put a little bit more pressure on the players, and you can see it by doing so, you create more chances. And if they can do that in their third, that you get those quick wins, wins of the ball, and then there you get a great opportunity to shot at the goal.
Natan Admassu making his second start of the summer to take the goal kick. Huge gain for Tacoma, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. They won't be mathematically eliminated with the loss today, but there'll only be one spot left for two teams, and Ballard FC easily could put it away on Friday as 3 players go down. No call from the referee, and a little surprised United PDX got away without giving up the free kick there. We're going to have the ref stop as I think it's Ludwig, and I'm not sure the player down for Tacoma, but a lot of shouting at our head referee as Davis King asks for the trainer to check out his teammate, Ludwig, who's grabbing that left shoulder. Difficult spot. 3 players in the vicinity. All 3 went down. 2 stayed down. Right now, the biggest concern appears to be Ludwig, who's still lying down, gripping that left shoulder. Now, Ryan has finished out his collegiate eligibility. Former Stanford man who played in 55 games, made 39 starts between 2018 and 2021, but I can say as someone who has finished my collegiate years, not my collegiate eligibility because I never started that, you still don't want to get injured because it's something you want to deal with in the real world either, is they check on Ludwig.
This is one of the biggest challenges playing in a summer league like this, when they got to go back, they got scholarships, and they got to go back to their team, and they could be injured. It's a big challenge, right? And a big fear that you can come into these games. And Ludwig looks like he got pretty hit there hard, and he looks like he may have dislocated his shoulder for a second there. But, hopefully he looks like he's getting back into it and should be good.
The positive, if you're United PDX, is there aren't really any defensive subs on the bench, but you could easily move McDowd back from the midfield back to center back, where he's played a lot during this recent stretch, and bring in a different midfielder as Jamin Gogo Peters hands his card in, and I wonder if that's what Troy Reddy's going to do. And that might be a triple change where McDowd moves to center back. And if it's only the one substitution, you could move Knapp back into the midfield and move Gogo Peters out on the wing. It does look like a second player has joined Gogo Peters. And it's going to be Knapp and Ludwig off. So Gogo Peters will replace Knapp out wide. Andreu will likely move into the midfield, and then you'd expect McDowd to fill in as that second centerman. Jamin Gogo Peters, the Brown University player who's been very effective, mostly as a sub, will come in and play out wide, and Marios Andreu, who's a grad student at the University of Portland, will play in his 4th game of the summer, all coming since that last homestand started. It's all in the last 6 games.
You know, we talked a little bit about, you know, give it 10 or 15 minutes into the game and make some changes there to keep the sharpness going there, and it looks like that's what the referee, that's what Troy's done there.
And I don't know if he intended to make that sub as early as he did, but it's nice to have the versatility where you don't have to question, okay, we don't have a center back on the bench. Where are we going to make that
double substitution for United PDX?
For McDowd to just move back into center back.
Gogo Peters.
And still 4 subs left on the bench.
You know, and I like Gogo Peters putting him out here because I think, you know, he's got a lot more speed, he's got a lot more a skill on the ball, and I think this is a great opportunity for him to make something happen. And here we go.
Here is the super sub, Gogo Peters. Jamin looking to cut it back, cuts inside, leaves it, and getting in there ahead of Evans was one of the defenders. Those two players met at the same point. Evans took a little bit of worse for wear, but he is back up and running back. Sliding tackle from Godinez, might have caught a little bit of the player, and now Muhammad will just push a Tacoma player off the ball, gets the push right back, and well, you can be upset about it if you're Felipe Souza. That might not even be, it's actually Orlando Arazo who was the frustrated party, but you can draw the push and not be happy that you didn't get the foul. You can't give a 2-hand push right in front of the referee. Second person's always going to be the one getting the card.
Yep, and I want to go back to Gogo Peters being out here. Look at the space. This is what I would do right now. I would be giving it out wide to him as every opportunity I can. Let him go one-on-one because he will beat, you know, we saw Nat beating him, and you see Gogo Peters already beat him in his first opportunity he's got, and it almost a great cut back for a good shot. So I would just keep feeding this all night long, and something will come from it.
We've got 2 subs coming on the opposite side. Felipe Souza and Nani Mendoza are both off. Bring you the names and numbers of the 2 players who just checked in. It looks like it's going to be Gilbert De La Luz to replace Felipe Souza up top. Don't know the player who's replacing Mendoza, who is playing the number 10 position. And it looks like it's going to be Craig Johnson. So both teams using some of their subs. Tacoma only had 6 available to start this game, so both teams with 4 left. De La Luz played at Tacoma Community College and then Western Washington. He graduated back in 2021 as an honorable mention all-conference player. Craig Johnson.
Double substitution for Tacoma Stars. Replaces Felipe
has not played nearly as much this summer. Don't have much information on him, but he comes in off the bench for Steve Moan and Skylar Rohr. 58th minute, still scoreless. Davis King plays it on the turf for Vova Kuberkov. And back for McDowd. And PDX still has not used Loic Barres, who's played in every game this summer. And Jimmy, I think if needed, Loic could be another one of those players who can make a huge impact off the bench, especially in the final 15 to 20 minutes. Just Godinez ahead for Gogo Peters. 2 options to his right. Gogo looks to cut back, right-footed shot, doesn't get much behind it. An easy save for Admassu.
He's going to be disappointed with himself on that shot. That was a back pass. It wasn't even a shot. But he did so well. Great flick on from Gogo. Again, they're on the left side there, he got so open. And if we can get him in, this is where they'll get their goal.
Yeah, that shot with his off foot, I think Jamin is certainly capable of shooting with his right foot, but more of a left-footed player. As Ncaa will take the throw-in back on the near side. See more opportunities here in the first 15 minutes of the second half for United PDX. Still haven't been able to put one past Natan Admassu as Mo Muhammad on the opposite side, able to hold off a player and keep control. Evans looking up to the feet of Muhammad, and Mo will play it all the way back for McDowd. This center back pairing of McDowd and Hatcher has been so good during this 6-game homestand. Not to take anything away from Ludwig, but we wondered how that pairing would work after Hatcher and Ludwig had formed a really good chemistry. And I don't think they missed a beat.
No, it's worked out really well, and they've played off each other extremely well. Read the game well. It's been good to see both of them play.
Evans back for King, a little bit of pressure, and King able to get out of it. Long ball in the vicinity there of Jackson Finn. Andreu just into the game, putting a little bit of pressure, and the ball will be booted deep, looking for Eddie Ncaa. Kamau 4-9, nearly hit the head of Hatcher, who says play on. Gogo Peters has the run, 2 runs to his right, instead wants to keep it, looking to get the cross. Nope, takes the shot, and it's well behind the net. Jamin now 3 times going directly at the defender. He's had the better end of it, just hasn't had that final product.
Yeah, it's just the quality at the very final third, right, or the final moment there. That shot was really shouldn't have been a shot. It should have been a cut back to the edge of the 18-yard, so then one of Evans or another midfield player could have come in and had an opportunity there. That would have been a goal if he had done that. But you know what? He's going to get plenty more opportunities, and just United just got to read this and understand that and keep feeding it.
Well, Gogo Peters is in that position that Knapp was in to start this game, and it just feels like if we had all the stats you have of a Euro game or a professional game, the heat chart for United PDX attacking on this side of the field would be bright red.
Yes, it would.
They have had their way on this side as King is going to try to get there, and he will pop it out. They're asking whether King's hand was out of the box, and they're going to give a direct free kick. Now, Tacoma's asking for a yellow as well. That seems a little bit harsh for an illegal touch. If anything, this direct free kick is slightly better than a corner kick because United PDX is going to have to back off 10 yards. But an interesting spot for a free kick. And a potential really big chance here for Tacoma Stars. And we will see the yellow handed out. First of the game for United PDX. Second total handed out today by our referee. Saw Orlando Orazo booked earlier. I believe this is Eddie Ncaa, the center forward, to take it. 2-man wall of Kubrikov and Muhammad. We have seen Tacoma try to knock one on the turf to get a direct shot as the referee talks to the 2 United PDX players about not moving forward on their jump, giving the full 10 yards. Big spot here. Not a take, and it bounces all the way towards the back post. Giesen gets in front, and another shot that goes high from a difficult angle. That was the substitute Gilbert Della Luz, unable to put the pressure on. It's the 3rd time where you'd think that Tacoma Stars could do a little bit more on a ball that's, again, maybe 6 to 8 yards away from the goal line.
Yeah, it's twice now that the ball's bounced around in the goal there, and they've just not been able to get on top of it and capitalize on the opportunity.
If anything, it feels like Tacoma is maybe a little unlucky not to have a goal at this point, despite the fact that you rationally say United has been the better team, but it's these free kicks. United has not done a good job with the first ball, which they typically do really well, and it's fallen in some good areas. Saw Mo Muhammad have a goal line clearance in the first half late. In fact, I think it was stoppage time at that point, and there was Giesing getting a piece of it on the goal line. Not sure if it was going in, but it's been a little bit close for comfort. Giesing in the path of Gogo Peters. Good job to step forward by Hernandez. Ball not out of trouble yet, and Gogo Peters is cleared out by Navarro. '64th minute as the referee will check on Gogo Peters. You know, we talked about this Tacoma team being really good when they play higher scoring games. United PDX being at their best when they play lower scoring games. This game does not feel like we're going to see 2 or 3 goals. Obviously that could change in the next 10 minutes, but it feels like this game is going to come down to potentially one player, one mistake. Evans looking for Finn, who had pulled out of it. Now, the first time these two teams played, there were 6 goals, all scored between the 68th and 74th minute.
Yeah, I think this game, you know, is due for a couple of goals. You know, we'll see how it continues to play out. But there's been too much in the box that's been created. They're just not getting that final killer instinct to get on the ball and knock it in. Either team.
Couple subs warming for Tacoma. The PDX hasn't sent anyone to warm up quite yet, as Hatcher content to play it out for a throw. This is a huge game in the USL League 2 Northwest Division. A win and United PDX clinches their first ever playoff spot in year 2. A loss, and all of a sudden there's a lot of pressure heading up to Ballard on Friday. And then if needed, their game on Sunday against Lane. Kubrikoff for Giesing, full extension to play it into the path of Finn, who steps over a player. Now it's Evans for Gogo Peters. Gogo Peters has Finn, instead he takes the right-footed shot. Admassu the save and able to collect it before Finn got there.
If he did that kind of shot the last time, I think that might have been a goal. That was a good strike. And great composure as well.
I think he took some offense to the right foot not being strong. That was certainly the best hit ball by a United PDX player on target today. Mo Muhammad able to run through a player tripped up, and we'll see if that results in a card. And we're going to get a substitute. We're going to get 2 substitutes. And I'm still waiting to see if this results in a card as well. Kubrikoff is off, along with Giesing, and it looks like it's going to be Kevin Lowe coming on for Giesing, and my guess is that's Loic Barres on the opposite side. We'll see. It could be Ward.
No, it's Barres.
So Loic, who scored his second goal of the summer on Friday, will look to make an impact. He had an assist in the game-winning goal in the last home contest. That was against FC Olympia last Tuesday. United PDX looking to keep their unbeaten streak at home going. This year at home, 5-0-1. They've scored 14 times and given up just 2 goals against. And that scoreless streak of 274 minutes has now carried over. They have kept, do a little bit of quick math, over 340 minutes of scoreless soccer here at home. Long run, and it's McDowell.
Double substitution for United PDX. Oliver Giesing comes off, replaced
and we're
by
going to
number
see
8,
another
Kevin
substitute
Lowe. And number 42,
for
Kubrikoff
Tacoma.
comes off, replaced by number 23, Loic.
It'll be Orlando Arazo coming off. Arazo playing with that yellow card. See who replaces him. Both teams using more and more subs. It looks like Kamau is going to change sides of the field in the wingback position, and the new player is going to take the throw-in. It's going to be Alexander Koop. who has not made a start this summer, but has been a frequent substitute. This is Kevin Lowe. Kevin's a guy who has made a lot of substitute appearances for Troy Ready. Former University of San Francisco player, graduated back in 2022. A two-time All-Region player at a junior college before earning all-conference honors as a senior at the University of San Francisco. Barres played at Yavapai College, a community college, before transferring to Gonzaga, where he's played in 28 games the past 2 seasons. Very versatile player who can play left back or as a winger. The throw-in is headed right back from whence it came from Godinez. Good job by Loda.
For Tacoma Stars,
the corner.
number 11,
Bouncing around in the
Orlando
18,
Brazo is
and
replaced
the
by
substitute
number 19,
Coop puts it
Alex
well
Coop.
high. Just over 20 minutes to go in regulation. A tie would not be the worst thing if you're United PDX. You'd be in first place all alone. You'd have a game in hand on Tacoma, who the most they could do was tie you, and any points in the last 2 games would get you into the playoffs. It would also give you a 1-point lead heading into that Ballard game. But obviously United PDX wants the 3 points, wants the playoff spot tonight, wants to keep this 6-game winning streak intact. Godinez, long ball. Finn is there chasing. Defender trying to avoid giving up the chance. Ball bouncing around. Barres backside, and it's low, and it's cleared off the line. Jose Cerna denying Kevin Lowe what would have been a huge goal in this one.
Yeah, and again, you know, we've said this the whole game. That was a great ball over the top, and it's obviously on this left side. So they've just got so much opportunity here. Great touch from Finn with the head there, and then a nice little flick over the top. So, yeah, great opportunity. Unfortunately, couldn't get it in.
Quick corner, short corner opportunity. Ball fell to the foot of Finn. Didn't get a ton behind it. Out to the top of the 18 and low. That one not on target. Well high and wide. Kevin Lowe would not have been the guy I would have predicted who would have potentially scored the game winner in this one, but that speaks to the versatility of this team. They began the year with 8 different players scoring, and while they have had a little bit more of players scoring frequently, easily with 4, Evans with 4, Finn with 2, they've still had 12 different goal scorers this year. Admassu shanks the goal kick right onto the chest of Gogo Peters. Coop trying to pull him back. And Coop drags him down, and they brought in a substitute to try to deal with that speed, and it didn't feel like Coop could do that much better. Navarro is pleading Coop's case, but this is going to lead to a free kick just off the sideline, and got to expect Evans or Barres is going to put this ball into a dangerous spot. Gogo Peters slow to get up right now. He was holding onto his ankle after another challenge earlier, and we will see a yellow card to Alexander Coop. 2 yellows in this game on Tacoma, and they've both been to the player trying to slow down Jamie Gogo Peters.
Yeah, and he's a difficult player to slow down. He's got great movement, he's got good touch on the ball, and he's got good speed. I mean, and those things can demolish a team, you know, and I think he has the capabilities of doing that here in this second half. I think it's we just need to get him the ball more often.
It'll be Barres to take it. Left-footed ball, top of the 6, bouncing around, left-footed shot, and a diving save from Admassu. The shot from McDowd likely going wide, but Admassu full extension to save it. 2 more players ready to check in for Tacoma Stars. This will be Alvin Kamau and Willie Spur, as they only had the 5 field players available, along with the backup goalie on the bench. And we've got a foul. Eddie Ncaa able to draw it against one of the 3 United PDX players trying to slow his progress. Ncaa will give way. So both center forwards have come off here in the second half, and Sebastian Navarro giving way for Alvin Kamau and Willie Spur.
Double substitution for Tacoma Stars. Number 7, Eddie Ncaa.
Looks
off
like
for number 8, Willie Spur.
Willie Spur will play up
and
top.
Number 14, Seb Navarro, off for number 6, Alvin Kamau.
And Alvin Kamau likely playing in the midfield. We weren't able to do our research on Alvin, but we expect that he is related to Shazi as Evans pushes it out wide for Gogo Peters. 1v1 with the defender. What can Jamin do here? Cuts it back with the right foot, and his shot goes well wide. Jimmy, you're a former forward. What do you think of that particular decision?
Well, that's the kind of play I would have done. Gone down the line, cut it in, and maybe tried to put a bender into the corner. I do think that this is really good for United. I think we've got to keep it on this left side, let him do his magic. And it will come. I mean, it will start to break down, and eventually we'll end up getting a goal from that.
We are in our water break, our temperature break, however you want to describe it, but in the 75th minute, players are going to come off. They're going to get a chance to rest, and this really feels like a timeout like you'd see in basketball or football where, yes, we're talking about hydration, but it's also a chance to talk tactics, to make small tweaks where it's very rare that a soccer coach is able to talk to all 11 players out on the field during a game, not at halftime or before the game. And what are the small suggestions Troy Reddy might be focused on here to get that all-important first goal?
Yeah, you got 15 minutes. So right now you've got to keep getting it out wide, and now you've got Barres in there as well. So I would be looking for both sides to get the ball around the box. I would actually get it round the back so you can knock the ball back at the edge of the box so those late runners can come in. I would also be telling them, put some high pressure on them, win the ball back as quick as you can and look to play, because really Tacoma is they're looking a little disjointed at this time.
A shorter hydration break than we saw in the first half. It's cooled down a bit. The sun is not fully down, but certainly not basking this field in sun. And fortunately, haven't seen any injuries outside of the Ludwig one, which was not due to the heat. Haven't seen any cramping to this point. Stuff you can see when it's a little bit hotter out. It helps that it's not humid here in Portland. It's one of the many benefits of being in the Pacific Northwest. So we'll get the restart, and we'll see if either team can find a winner here in the last 14 minutes of regulation and stoppage. Low to the feet of Barres, right back for Low, trying to push it into the path of United PDX player. McDowd's header, knocked down by Spur. Hatcher will have plenty of time, and he'll play it back for his keeper, King, who is on a yellow card after making a punch just outside the box. This is Willie Spur, one of the two subs just into the game. Long ball headed down by Godinez. Spur played 4 years at Evergreen State College up in Washington before graduating back in 2016. Talked about the experience on this team. He's one of a number of players who graduated in the teams. And while he might not want to play 90 minutes today, certainly capable of putting in a good 15 and actually leading his team to a big win. Ball sprayed ahead for Lowe, and Lowe is never going to win that one against one of the center backs, but put some pressure on. Long ball looking for Spur, right to his foot. Played down for Gilbert De La Luz. Now to Coop. Coop to the foot of Spur. Billy dribbling, blue shirts in front of him, passes it back for Kamau. Kamau sprays it way out wide for his brother Alvin. Not the way he wanted to hit that, but Tacoma keeps possession. Center back stepping forward. This is Igor Akolov. Jackson Finn able to win it and avoids the tackle. Has the runs of Gogo Peters and of Barres, but it's knocked away by one of the defenders and out for a throw-in. Does feel like time that United PDX can counter. They're seeing a lot of space. Godinez, who's one of the players who's played all 79 minutes, biding his time. I don't know if you can hear it on the broadcast, but some of the players screaming need to bring the energy at this point. Akolov skies that one, looking for Spur. Andreu won it. Now Barres to the foot of Finn. Finn still battling for it. Evans taken out, and they say no foul. Referee was right there. Go the other way. Finn looking upfield and will play it in the vicinity of Barres. Headed out for a throw-in by Cerna, who had that huge goal line clearance on the look from Kevin Lowe. Story of this game to this point is really the goal line clearances. 3, 2 by United PDX's. Finn puts it in! Off the throw-in, Jackson Finn is third of the summer, and just like that, that's the story of the game in the 80th minute.
Yeah, it was a good play. The goal, he got the ball on the line real quick, threw it in. The defender wasn't really prepared to see that come in. It went by him, and Jackson Finn just
Goal
got
for
over
United
and he just put it
PDX, number 28, Jackson Finn.
And that's what you do as a center forward. You might get one chance all game, and Jackson Finn, right place, right time, left-footed shot, and just like that, United PDX is 10 minutes plus stoppage away from potentially moving into the playoffs. Looks like the fourth official's having a conversation with one of the coaches for Tacoma. They're really not happy about it. That was a quick throw-in from United PDX. I assume it was Barres.
It was so smart. He grabbed it, he saw the opening, he threw it in, and the defender wasn't really prepared, and that's what got Jackson Finn on the opposite side of him, and he just got a really good strike on that ball.
Well,
great finish.
It's an oddity in soccer that you can't be offside on a throw-in, and you rarely see that as an actual option, but it may have caught Tacoma, as we're going to see Andreu have a little bit of a conversation with the referee. These next 10-plus minutes are going to be really tense, because now Tacoma needs to score. If they lose this game, they're not eliminated from the playoffs, but they're all but eliminated from the playoffs. They would need Ballard to drop their last 2 games, win their last game, and win some tiebreakers, which they do have the first tiebreaker over Ballard because they took 4 out of 6 points. But that's asking a lot for the defending champs to lose more games after they lost and tied their past 2. Andreu through. Finn is offside. Now the positive for Tacoma is they would immediately become United PDX fans on Friday and hope that United PDX could keep winning, put the pressure on Sunday's game. It's out for a corner kick. These free kicks this free kick defending has not been as good as we're used to seeing, and this could be huge here in the final 10.
Yeah, their corner kicks have been pretty good for them, and they get enough players in the box, so United's got to get that first hit and get it out.
Left-footed ball, low line drive. Hatcher gets the first head to it. It's knocked around. Evans will ping it out of the 18. Ball chopped around. Gogo Peters with a foot on it. Still not out of trouble. Working with it is Abdella. Pushed out for Spur. Willie Spur cutting it back for Coop. Coop along the goal line, tries to cut it back. Good footwork from Godinez. Into the path of Gogo Peters. Boy, can he fly. 2 options. Barres is wide open on the right. Instead, Jamin's going to cut through a pair, try to cut right back. He's got Finn for a second, and it's knocked down. What a diving play by the defender, Diego Hernandez, to deny what would have been the death knell.
Yeah, right there. He showed his magic right there. What speed, what pace, what skill. Knocked the ball inside. He just turned the defenders inside and out there and used his speed to get through them. Brilliant play.
And the one time Jamin wasn't looking for his own shot, the time the defender and the goalie saw themselves out, we go right back to Gogo Peters, who I thought was onside that time, but the referee puts his flag up.
Yeah, that's just a little lack of discipline right there. He should have got back quicker, got back on side, and then rested. Instead, he was a little strolly.
We're going to get a free kick for United PDX. There must have been a foul before that ball was sprayed out. 84th minute, 1-0 United PDX on Jackson Finn's third of the summer. All coming here at home. And Finn's third goal of the summer could be enough for United PDX to clinch a playoff spot. Gogo Peters has been a menace here in the second half. Nearly set up a second that would have put the game away. Sprayed up into really no white shirts there, and Hatcher will play it back for Davis King. King will boot it out towards midfield. Finn coming back.
Yeah, the challenge when we're playing this game where we're just kicking it over the top, you notice players like Evans not getting the ball as much, and he's not able to distribute with a little bit of his distribution in the game, and it's what it means is you're missing. You're going from defense to forward, defense to forward all the time, and you need to sometimes bring it through that midfield to make sure the team comes forward as a unit, and United's missing that right now.
Yeah, this game has become real loose, and not in the worst way for United PDX, because they're also generating chances, but United PDX needs the shutout much more than they need a second goal at this point, as the referee checks on Gogo Peters, who continues to go down and check on that ankle. Off the restart, Davis King will boot it well across midfield as we hit the 86th minute. Finn settles it for Lowe. 3 white shirts around him, loses it, and he'll slow down Shazi Kamau. And that's going to be a really easy yellow card against Kevin Lowe. But it's also a professional foul. Allows his entire team to get behind the ball for this free kick, just inside the defensive half. It'll be Hernandez to take. Moves it towards the top of the 18. Headed by Godinez, not out of trouble. Into the middle, it's Alvin Kamau. For Abdella, and another good header, this time from McDowell. Gogo Peters couldn't keep control. Shazi, ball bouncing around, and a United PDX player was taken down by the jersey, no call. And now a chance if Finn can win it, but a good job coming over, desperation defending. It's Jose Serna. Another big tackle. He has been crucial in keeping this game 1-0. Spur has options out wide. He'll go all the way out to the far side. Tacoma Stars desperate for a goal, and that one was overhit by Craig Johnson and out for a goal kick. Gogo Peters, I think he's going to have to come out of the game at this point. Got options. Alexander Ward and Donovan McClellan still on the bench. But Gogo Peters, who's been good in this game, doesn't have a goal and an assist. Just appears to have run out of gas and might be a bit banged up as well. '88th minute, we're sure to see a couple minutes of stoppage time as Jamin waiting on the trainer. Jimmy, what's the biggest thing you need to see out of United over these final, say, 8 to 10 minutes?
Put the ball in their half and put pressure on them in their half. They do not want Tacoma in theirs. you've got to, this is where you get the opportunity. So I keep playing it out to the left, out to the right, let it get around the back, or I would just take time off the clock by just getting it into the corner, or just keeping possession, winning that first and second ball, but do it in their half. Because what's happening right now, Tacoma's just playing that ball over the top and waiting for a mistake, right? And then they're trying to get, United in our defensive half, right? So it's important that we keep that pressure and we keep the ball when they're in their half.
They're going to have a chat with Gogo Peters and see if he is, in fact, done for the day. Alexander Ward is ready to check on. Ward, who was a senior last year at Division III Colorado College, played in the last 2 games, including starting against FC Olympia last Tuesday. At least for the moment, United PDX will play short a man. That was a long stoppage. We're in the 89th minute, but I think the referee is going to give at least 5, if not a little bit longer. We've seen as many as 9+ minutes of stoppage time this year at home. Finn can't quite handle it. Barres, who's moved over to the near side, preferred side, and this will be out for a Tacoma throw. And not surprisingly, the ref, who was very focused on positioning the first half, will back up Diego Hernandez. They've brought Gogo Peters back into the game, so it's back to 11v11. Godinez right to Willie Spur wearing a white shirt. And Spur will play it over for Igor Akalov. The far side for Cerna. Up the line for Alvin Kamau. Kamau looking for teammate, and it's cleared away there. That was McDowd. Finn, just a bit too much contact on Cerna, and it'll be a free kick. Out to hit stoppage time here. There's no signal, but again, we're thinking 5 to 6 extra minutes of time as Tacoma desperately looks for at least 1, if not 2 goals. Goal scored in the 80th minute by Jackson Finn. The difference all the way to the back post. Coop keeps it alive. Swinging and missing is Godinez, and then he was fouled by Spur. And the one positive to being this close to the field in the air-conditioned lower press box levels, you can actually hear what the players are saying a bit better. Billy claiming that he hit that one first, but the referee not buying it. 91st minute. United PDX looking to add to their league-leading total in shutouts. This would be their 5th shutout in 12 games if they can hang on. Barres, we thought, kept it alive. Instead, they're going to give a throw-in along the near side. 1 minute down here in stoppage time as Finn nearly stole that one away. Cerna facing pressure, a good ball to find Johnson, and Johnson is taken down by Gogo Peters, who's issued a yellow card. So he's forced to, and now he goes into the book. Free kick from Jose Cerna, former Peninsula College player. Cerna, good ball towards the 6, but Davis King easily able to collect. Nearly 2 minutes gone by in stoppage time. The long ball with Tacoma selling out. Finn able to settle. Cerna comes across, only able to clear as far as Barres. Barres thought about the cross. Barres will now cross it back post. Gogo Peters able to keep it alive, working the goal line for Evans, looking for his 5th of the summer. Cerna, a 2nd goal line clearance. Jose Cerna is single-handedly keeping his team in this game defensively. And Mo Muhammad able to win that on the opposite side, then he's taken out. And then Mo kicks out, and we've got some shoving and more really hugging at this point. Last thing you want to see is United PDX likely heading into the playoffs. You don't want to have any kind of players missing games. And really, most of that is just frustration, I would assume, Jim.
Yeah, you know, it was a bad tackle. I mean, he took him from behind, and so Momo got frustrated and pushed him back, and then you know, he wasn't going to take that. He's going to push back, and then Momo just grabbed him. So it just, yeah, it's unfortunate that he just let the emotions and moment get a big part of him.
So the fourth official is talking to the Tacoma assistant coach, who's the head coach today. We've got a yellow card on Mo Muhammad. And honestly, I'm happy that it's a yellow card because Mo did kick out. And sometimes when you have a player kicking out from the turf, that can lead to more. I think it was David Beckham famously back in the 90s who was given more at a big game. And I think it's Gilbert De La Luz on the opposite side who was involved in that confrontation. 94th minute. Hopefully all of that is settled down. Should mean that we get a little bit more stoppage time, though. Hatcher on the restart for United PDX, looking to play out these final couple minutes and clinch their first ever USL League 2 playoff spot. As the referee finishes writing out the yellow cards.
Yeah, again, this is where we just got to put the ball in their half, and we just got to keep putting the pressure on them. And then let the time roll out.
Davis King will put the ball in the exact spot. It does feel like United PDX has all this space every time they do get the ball in behind. But there's no thought of going to the corner flag. And I know you probably don't love going to the corner flag, but it is an effective way of killing off time.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's a strategic play, and it is a smart play. Yeah, as a player, I don't like doing that because I want to go to goal, right? I want to create something, but you know, sometimes that can create risk. So it is a good strategic play. Just take time off. You're going to win.
Mo Muhammad's going to come off here, I think, in part because of that yellow card. Alexander Ward will replace him. As United PDX still has a substitute left if they would like. Loic Barres is offside and will get a free kick and a yellow card on Barres for time wasting.
I would think so.
Just feels like the yellows are starting to become hot and heavy. 5.5 minutes gone by in stoppage. Probably another 2 to 3 the way this stoppage time is gone. Cerna moves it deep. Loose in the midfield. Lowe took the worst of that challenge. Evans will boot it deep. Finn against 3 white shirts and able to put enough pressure. Lowe is taken
Substitution
down.
for United PDX.
And that will lead to a free kick and a chance to really slow it down here with 6 minutes gone by. Kevin Lowe just seems to be really good at winning some of those challenges and isn't afraid of putting his body under some physical duress. Barres wins it back for Finn. The shoulder shrug looking for Mario Sandreu. Ball cleared out towards the sideline, long run. And that will do it. United PDX is going to the USL League 2 playoffs. Jackson Finn's goal in the 80th minute, the difference. A 7th consecutive win, an unbeaten home season. United PDX finishes 6-0-1 here in Portland. And no matter what happens in these next 2 games, United PDX will play next week in the playoffs. And Jimmy, that was not the trajectory this team had coming into their homestand in the middle of June. This team has really found its stride. It wasn't necessarily pretty today. At points it was tense, it was nervy, but they keep finding a way to win these close games. That is now 5 one-goal wins during this 7-goal stretch.
Yeah, I think that's a good testament to good coaching because you started the season off with players that really didn't know each other. They hadn't played together. And when that happens, you don't have rhythm, right? And so with good coaching and getting players getting used to each other, knowing where their run's going, know where to do, and creating a